In our Oklahoma Zone in Focus, we're taking an in-depth look at an issue people in one part of Adair County have been dealing with for years.
Folks there say they are desperate for clean, consistent water service after dealing with years of disruptions. News on 6's covered several of these water outages in rural water district number 5. Some of those have lasted for hours, others have lasted for weeks.
We're not being heard when we call them to say, hey, look, we still don't have water.
You just keep buying bottles of water to have in the house to drink.
The people of this, of this part of the county are suffering.
The governing board of the water district says the plant and other infrastructure have had years of neglect, and it's an uphill battle to try to get them repaired.
And the board blames equipment failures, broken pipes, and a lack of money to make any massive overhaul. In our Oklahoma Zone in Focus, we're going to take a look at the extent of the problem and what's being done to find a more permanent fix.
First News on 6's Calday has more on people's frustrations.
When the water goes out, life still goes on for people in Adair County's rural water district 5. Dishes need to be washed, dinner has to be cooked, and you've got to think outside of the box when it comes to flushing the toilet.
These are the jugs that I dip in there.
For Sheila Camp, an outage means stepping a few feet outside, finding an empty jug, and taking a dip.
That's the only choice we have, is this right here. I mean, look at that, how nasty that is.
A trough made for cows to get water instead turns into her supply just so she can use her bathroom. Inside of her home, you won't find a table in the dining room. Instead, it's a mountain of water bottles ready to go for when the faucets are dry.
It's frustrating because you don't know when to do anything, because you don't know when you're going to have water and when you're not going to have water.
The water bottles are a necessity in Sheila's home. She uses her supply to drink and bathe. The outages have happened from time to time in her 20 years of living here, but they've really ramped up in the last year. She's gone as long as 3 weeks without running water.
I mean, yeah, I live out in the country and everything, and, I'm used to it, but I shouldn't have to live like this.
Sheila and other members of the water district have asked the governing board for answers.
No water for 3 weeks, and then I still get a big bill. I don't understand why.
During one meeting, members brought up disruptions to their water and disputes over their bills.
My bill last month was $70. This month it's $69. I also have a $200 credit.
They raise questions over inconsistent charges, especially with days of outages. The board listens, trying to help where they can, knowing the problems right in front of them.
But it's the entire system just has flaws, and it was years of neglect, so that's what we're trying to undo right now.
This board took over after upending the people previously in charge. Ivan Hargis served as chairman of the board until earlier this month, but would not go into detail on just how bad things really are. The board tells its members that the system is more than 30 years old and cannot support the district anymore.
We inherited these issues, and we're doing what we can to bring everything up to par. Unfortunately, it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take some time, and we just ask everybody to be patient.
Hargis says the board is paying for consultants and contractors to get things on the right track.
Is it one jug for each flush?
No, it's 4.
Sheila will tell you patience can only go so far.
We need help. They need help down there. We need water.
In Adair County, Calday, Oklahoma Zone is on 6.
Staying in focus, here's a look at the area affected by those outages. This map shows rural water district 5 in Adair County. As you can see, it's largely rural in the middle of the county and includes the small town of Christie, Oklahoma.
The Department of Environmental Quality says the district is working on an agreement with the Cherokee Nation to help with consulting, maintenance, and operational improvements. It says that plan is expected to be introduced in the new year. DEQ says a third party now handles the financial records and is working to make them digital.